Our climate is changing, affecting our coast, our health, and our livelihoods. Here in Tobago, degradation of coastal resources is a major concern, especially in the southwestern areas of the island.
When I was growing up, the mangroves and the beaches they were amazing. Diving and water activity on the island then was sort of taboo. So we were the only few locals to really venture into these areas, like the Buku Reef and the lagoon. It was fantastic because you had virtually nobody else going into these areas. So they were pretty pristine, they were pretty well kept. Professionally, I've been diving for almost 20 years, and there is drastic changes in the lagoon, in the mangrove. You see a lot of destruction in the mangroves. Because I work in the environment, obviously you're going to pay attention to your environment, and there is some destruction. It's being stressed. That's the only way I could describe it. It's being stressed.
I really do not like what I'm seeing that's happening to the reef. All the anchors on the boats being tossed on the coral, and of course there is a problem with all the runoff from the humongous amount of building that's going on, and they're cutting down the land, and when it rains, the water just rushes down into the ocean.
Human activities such as careless dumping, poor farming practices, irresponsible coastal construction, anchoring on the reef, and overfishing have seriously affected our coastal ecosystems.
As island people, we're intimately linked to our coast. It's where we live, it's where we work, and it's where we recreate. A lot of our economic activities are actually coastal dependent. For instance, in Southwest Tobago, the main economic activity is tourism, which is from coral reefs and beaches and so on. And the other main economic activity is fisheries. So integrated coastal zone management, what it attempts to do is to bring all the people who have a stake on the coast together to develop a policy and eventually a plan that would allow for us to continue doing the activities on the coast that provide us with a livelihood without compromising the ecosystems. We want the different ecosystems to continue to provide us with services, and these include things like coastal protection, being a nursery habitat for fish and shellfish species, help us against storm protection, water quality maintenance, all these services that they provide. Plus they're also homes for a wide diversity of organisms, some of which we use for our tourism. We bring people to see all these different species that exist in our waters. So that's the intention, bringing all the stakeholders, whether it be the hoteliers, the business community, the private sector, the government communities, to come together to do a sort of integrated approach to management.
Coral reefs provide the natural infrastructure for tourism. They are dive sites and provide the sand for beautiful beaches. Coral reefs are natural barriers that protect our coastline from erosion. When they become degraded, they can no longer protect the coast, and alternative methods such as rock revetments have to be installed.
We have to start to think about rebuilding that reef. But before we do that, we have to stop doing the nonsense that we have been doing, like allowing a lot of sewage and runoff and affluent from the animals and so on going into the water.
The sea is encroaching on the land. It's lots of erosion because the reefs now are flat, whereas before they were high, actually above the water. Now they're leveled out. So the waves have a greater force when they come in the shore. So the reefs need to be helped.
Most people who swim, they see waist high. A person in my profession sees all the garbage that is dumped after a beach line. The destruction and the stress comes on slowly. So what you need to do is to make sure that the information is always there and to keep the coastline clear and beautiful You know, we can do practical things like when you go to the beach, you know, you walk with a garbage bag to put your stuff in, things like that.
If nothing is done, of course, there will be no beaches, no visitors coming to Tobago, no money to be made in the tourist industry. So it's very, very important for our economy in Tobago that we maintain our beaches.
The threat of climate change is real. With unhealthy reefs and mangroves, storm surge from strong tropical depressions has the potential to wipe out lives, property, critical infrastructure, and the livelihoods of those who depend on our coastal resources. And if the coast gone, all are we done. You can play a role to ensure the long-term health of our coastlines. Here are some of the things you can do to ensure Tobago's coastal resources stay healthy, beautiful, and strong. Seek knowledge about your coast so you can influence policies that affect your use of the coastal zone. Be responsible and obey the laws. Get approvals from town and country planning before you build, and ensure your property can withstand tropical storms and coastal flooding. Farm sustainably and reduce chemical runoff that enters rivers and the sea. Buy sand and gravel. Don't remove them from the beach. Proper disposal of waste is everybody's business. Remove your garbage after a day at the beach. Do not throw garbage out of vehicles. Marine life such as turtles can die from eating plastic. Don't walk or drop boat anchors on the reef. Doing this would improve the well-being of Tobagonians and maintain the attractions that bring tourists to Tobago. This is our Tobago, so let's work together to protect her coasts so that they in turn can protect all of us today and forever.
If the coast gone, all are we done.
Help make her healthy, more beautiful and strong.
Let's do it for you, for me, and all are we.
Do it for you, do it for us, do it for Tobago.
Thank you. We need you.
Warning, 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 warning. To the world. Warning, warning, warning. Climate change is happening. We got to do something.